Plane cares not to have depth or carry a meaningful message, but the fun that it offers. Welcome back, movie fans, to my review of Plane, or as film Twitter likes to call it, the most dramatic title reveal ever. We are in the midst of January. It is the bleakest of times for movie fans everywhere. It has become infamously historical how Hollywood just drops its undesirables during these first 30 days of the year. And with such a bland title as Plane, it doesn't really inspire much confidence. But damn, if January 2023 isn't repeatedly bringing out pleasant surprises. After successfully landing his storm-damaged aircraft in a war zone, fearless pilot Brodie finds himself between the agendas of multiple militias, planning to take the plane and his passengers hostage. Brodie alone carries the responsibility for their lives and can only count on the help of Gaspare, an accused murderer being transported under the custody of the FBI. And if every January movie was like Plane, maybe it wouldn't have that bad a rap. This is exactly my kind of film. A simple action extravaganza that breezes through its runtime and delivers exactly what it promises. This is not a movie that will subvert your expectations. This is not a movie that is going to take massive narrative or character risks. It is simply there to deliver a thrill ride, and it delivers that. On top of it, for some reason, Gerard Butler just has this hold on me. Despite disappointing me repeatedly in the past, I always get excited for whatever Jerry B is doing next, as he's found this comfortable niche in throwback, over-the-top action thrill rides that, despite familiar in their beats and structure, he always comes across as an interesting, unconventional lead. Like in this film, he is not the super macho man action guy. The weight of that falls on Colter, who is great in that department. Gerard Butler is just this excellent pilot who feels anxiety, who's not exactly trained in martial arts. Even the action sequences are very handheld. The fights are messy and they're not super frantic and adrenaline fueled. They're just two guys trying to survive. There's a sequence where a dude is just having his hands all over his face and eyes and mouth, and it's just not the most exciting fight, but in a good way, where it stands out that this dude is just in way over his head. He's feeling that anxiety. He's exhausted after the fight, and you feel that. That intensity comes through to the screen, not only in the one-on-one fight sequences, but as the plane is taking off, as they're flying through a storm. You feel immersed, you feel engaged in this journey. So when they land on that deserted island and find themselves hostages of these militia outlaws, you are in there with them. And so it's a non-stop thrill ride from there. It is a very simple movie that really flies by. Actually, the runtime in this movie flies more than the plane in it, because they go down after 20 minutes and can't take... Please don't unsubscribe. And so you will find this film to have all the expected story conventions, tropey villains who are immensely cliche, and character depth that is but surface level. Particularly with Mike Colter's character, I found that there was such an interesting setup about him to explore so much, and yet all the unanswered questions are left on the table. But in general, Plane gave me that kind of cinema experience that I miss, like the Air Force Ones, the 90s action films, the Stallone starring roles, the Schwarzenegger starring roles. We don't get those experiences on the big screen anymore. I grew up with so many of those films, many good, many not so much. But this is the kind of right one. The kind that strikes that perfect balance of it doesn't want to challenge you and it doesn't pretend it wants to challenge you. It wants to deliver that pure, honest experience that is simple, straight to the point. You have a plane that crash lands, people are trapped on an island, they are made hostages, and they have to be rescued. You can guess exactly what is going to happen in this film from the synopsis, but it is the kind of film that makes you root exactly for that outcome while delivering these over-the-top sequences where you can look at the screen and groan that would never happen in real life. So many contrivances in this screenplay that, despite effective, are not realistic. But I want to go to these experiences, I want to watch these films to witness the impossible happen. You are watching an experience like this, and you are rooting for these two dudes to be able to go through an entire island of militia outlaws. And it just gave me that. An experience that I so crave these days, with two likable actors that have great chemistry and charisma together, an effective structure that works. It's a very effective screenplay. Plane cares not to have depth or carry a meaningful message, but the fun that it offers with its high-octane sequences, the thrills that it delivers with this rescue mission through an unknown jungle in an attempt to survive, more than make up for it. And I hope we get more B movies on the big screen again. I hope this makes for a resurgence. Films that just openly assume and celebrate what they are, like Plane. There are sequences in here that create some lulls. The pacing is not always effective when you are taken away from the jungle and to the people on the ground trying to find where this plane crash landed. It's just not that effective because we don't get to spend that much time with it. The film acknowledges fully how that is not as interesting as the rescue mission with Gerard, Butler, and Mike Colter. And so it just feels like it's there to create some context, to have a through line so we can get to that third act. It has some incredible kills in that third act. Like, wow, they went there, and I was so surprised. This is just a really fun time. In an era where films overstay their welcome a lot, this 100-minute flight is one of the easiest watches in recent memory, and I can see myself going back to it again and again. Easily the best movie of 2023 so far. But as I dive into my final thoughts on Plane, it's time for the fun part, where you share your thoughts and start the conversation about it in the comments below. Is it your favorite movie of January? And what is your favorite Gerard Butler film? I have more reviews right up here, so if you enjoyed this video, check that playlist out. And if you want to talk more movies and TV, this is the place to be. So consider clicking that subscribe button, and you won't miss any future conversations on your favorite movies and TV. Plane is a blast. A 90s throwback in the best way. Simplicity is its greatest asset. In the age of streaming, this is the rare big screen experience we should cherish. Refreshingly honest in its aim for a cheesy, fun, intense, and thrilling layover at the cinema. Familiar, but a successfully effective B movie. And that is why I'm giving Plane a B. That is my review of Plane, a Gerard Butler success story. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Big shout out to my channel members for always supporting the channel. And I'll be back very soon with more videos. So until the next one, love each other and love the movies.